Sam's going to keep an eye on the chat for us. So if any time during the chat while we're talking, somebody wants to ask a question, we will be able to answer it. But other than that, we got some things that we're going to talk about, and got a little bit of an announcement for you people that aren't close family to us. This will be new information and should be pretty exciting for everyone.
Your mom gave us a heart.
Oh, all right. Look at that. My mom gave us a heart. My mom thinks I'm special. All right. So, what is the first thing you want to talk about? I say we talk about when did we decide to go full time? I guess I'll go first because I was the first one to make that decision. And for a long time, I was just acting like it was something I was interested in because I know Sam was not keen to the idea at all.
Nope.
So what happened was I started watching full-time living camper videos and stuff like that. Oh, look, and there's a nice big camper going by right now. So we see those guys all the time. They must live around here. Or they go to the winery that's just down the road. But I started watching full-time RVing videos and stuff like that and following channels, and I think it caught Sam's interest a little bit. I was watching those guys, and so she started watching some, and I don't know, after a while of watching those videos, it just becomes contagious. It rubs off on you. We watch a lot of channels like that now, and with new ones we can find with the least amount of subscribers. We like the new channels that are just starting out. It's like our favorite thing to watch.
Yeah, we just got into watching these van life people, and that it's crazy because it's like we downsized so much to get into this, and then now we're like, man, maybe we should downsize some more and get a smaller rig.
Yeah, and these people are driving around in vans, and it's like it makes you feel a little
like we're too big.
Yeah, like we're too big. People are looking at us that live in houses, and they're like, how do you do that? And I'm looking at us being like, oh, maybe we're too big. Maybe we need a van. So,
but well, for me, it was we were looking at houses, and we came close a couple of times, and like the bank pulled out. One time the driveway wasn't okay for the bank, and then the other one was there was lead paint, and we would have to go in and clean it up ourselves before they would approve us and do all this work. And then he started talking about this, and I was like, really we're gonna live in a camper? He's like, just come out, check it out. And so we went out, and I looked at them, and I was like, man, these are pretty nice, like high ceilings. It's not bad. And, I thought it was gonna be like real tight, and I get a little claustrophobic, and no, not at all. There's plenty of room in here for us, and the dogs, they love it. But yeah, it took me a while to come around.
Yeah, we decided on the fifth wheel because the Class A's don't have the high ceilings, so they do make you feel like you're in a camper quite a bit. And the amount of room you get inside a fifth wheel compared to a Class A or a travel trailer or any of that stuff is astronomical. And you can get a fifth wheel and a truck for about half the price you can get a very cheap Class A. So that's why we went with the rig that we went with. And I wanted to keep Sam happy and have it feel like it was more of an open space with high ceilings and stuff like that, because she wasn't so keen on moving into a camper. So I didn't want to make it feel like a camper.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be more open. Oh wait, there's a question. Yeah, we're in the country. They like to ride their four-wheelers down the road.
It's great to have community though. Those guys drive by and they wave to us when they go by, and we wave to them when we go by their houses and stuff like that. It's nice.
Yeah. But another reason why we, going back to why we decided to full-time live in an RV is we were trying to get pregnant for a while, and we couldn't. So then we did the whole doctor thing, And turns out we probably can't. So it was like, do we want to get into a 30-year mortgage? Do we, do we want to buy this big house that we probably aren't going to need? Like, what is the next step then? So we kind of found ourselves changing direction. Not really sure what to do. And that was a big part of the decision to do this, because we're like, all right, well, what are we going to do? Well, all of our friends and a lot of people we know that have kids, they're like, oh, I'd like to travel. And we're like, oh, well, traveling might be fun. And, we can do that with the dogs. And this way we can bring the dogs. We don't have to worry about finding somebody to stay with them or...
Yeah, the camper was a big thing with the dogs.
Yeah. Especially
because we were going... every 4th of July, we were going on a little vacation, and we were having to leave our dogs with her parents, with my in-laws, and that's great. They love them and all that, but we wanted them to be with us.
Yeah, I didn't like leaving them.
So
especially now they're getting older.
Yeah.
So it's...
The more time we can spend with them, the better while they're older. So.
Yeah, they are our children.
Yeah.
They're our fur children. For sure. They act like it sometimes. So no comments yet.
All right. So what do we do for work? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
All right. So what do we do for work? Well, I build custom cabinets at a local place around here. They do high-end cabinets. It's good work, and I like the people there. And I only have to work 4 days a week. Do 10-hour shifts, so that gives me long weekends to focus on the channel and to get out and travel around our local places. So
yeah, we can take some long weekends.
Yeah, we are pretty kind of restricted to where we're at, but we get 2 weeks twice a year to go out on long trips if we want to, and other than that, we get the long weekends to go out.
So klutzy. I just spilled my coffee. I spilled his coffee earlier before we started. That's why we were late, because I'm a klutz, and I just spilled my coffee.
Nice. So, but yeah, we're hoping to get out and travel more and do all that stuff. But right now we're kind of tied to where we're at, so it's a little bit of a different aspect of full-time living. A lot of people that you see are like out. It's like vacation. Every time you see one of their videos, and
Weekend warriors.
Yeah, well, and we love the vacation-like videos, the ones that are, those guys are at a new national park every week and stuff like that. It seems fantastic, but we're not at that point yet. So we still have jobs and stuff like that. So, but that seems to be everybody's goal in this life, is to get to the point where you can just travel, and being on the road is your full life.
Yeah, it would definitely be amazing. We're not there yet. I've been a hair stylist for 16 years, and thanks in large part to our success on Odyssey. Thank you all so much for subscribing. Hitting 100 subscribers was fantastic. Amazing. I never in a million years thought that I would be even remotely interesting enough for this. But it's very exciting, and it's really taking off, and we decided to focus a little more on the our channels with everybody, our RV living channel, and I've decided to leave doing hair. So I'm done at the end of the month, and hopefully that all goes smoothly. I know I'm going to be working my butt off getting everybody in. They're my family. They're my work family. Everybody's got a work family, and all of my clients are them. So it's tough. It wasn't an easy decision to make. There's been some tears. I've been doing some of my clients' hair the whole 16 years I've been doing hair. And but we want to focus. I really want to focus on our channel, and I want to get it going, get good content to you guys, because we were trying to
do both is hard.
And my schedule, being a hairstylist, we're typically busy when everybody else is off. So holiday weekends, things like that. And I tried to cut back my hours. And I can't say no. So we decided, so I'd be going in on my day off, going in early, staying late. Because I love doing what I do, and I love, helping people out as much as possible. We're hoping to continue to help people out, just in a different way. People more interested in this lifestyle. I know it's been beneficial to our friends and family to kind of see how we do things, because there's lots of questions, for sure. But yeah, I'm hoping to be able to have some time to bring some good quality content, spend some time editing, and make sure we get out some good stuff. We really would love for people to give us ideas on videos you'd like to see. If there's anything that we haven't touched on, or have touched on a little bit but maybe not enough, let us know. We'd really like to get input from you guys, because we're new to everything. We're new to recording our stuff. It's not first nature to pull out the camera for us. It's more like fourth or fifth nature to pull out the camera for us. So we're getting comfortable. We're trying to get comfortable with the camera, and we're trying to remember to, when we do things, to pull it out. But I think if we have some solid ideas of some stuff you guys would like to see, that would give us a little more direction, we can really try to make sure we come up with something for you guys.
Yeah, because some people like the outdoor adventure videos, like a kayaking video and a hiking video, drone footage, stuff like that. And then some people like a more instructional video, like me showing the gate valve for the septic system. Some people don't understand simple things from a camper, like how do you cook, or how do you wash your dishes, stuff like that, or is it different to do those things in a camper? Some people are interested in that kind of stuff. So we want to know what our subscribers and our followers are interested in. Yeah. So I think it would be awesome if you guys would just comment down below. Even if the live stream's over, we can still see your comments, and we'll go back and we'll check them out, and we'll make videos for you guys on whatever you guys are asking to see.
Yeah, I feed off of interaction. Trying to talk to, an inanimate object sometimes is tough, because especially with my history, being a hairstylist, I get a lot of one-on-one with people. And it's nice to hear their stories. So we'd love to hear your stories if you're full-time living. Any tips you have, or any thoughts you had you'd like for us to try. We'd love to try anything, because we're still figuring everything out.
Yeah, we jumped right into this fifth wheel camper with no experience.
Jumped in head first without knowing how to swim.
Yeah, we didn't even know how to empty a black tank, and we bought a 40-foot fifth wheel camper. So it can be done. Even if people are intimidated, just go for it, man. The worst thing that'll happen is that you'll learn. And you know what? I've taken 2 poop showers. 2. Completely covered. And the one was like all over my face covered. The second one, thankfully, it was just the second half of it. But my, totally covered. And then I had to drive 45 minutes home after it covered my face. The best thing I could do was rinse myself off outside, and it was below 30 degrees. Thank God the water wasn't frozen. I don't know how that happened. So I turned the water on, rinsed myself off, undressed myself, and then drove 45 minutes home before I could clean myself. So that's the worst thing that can happen. I would say that's the absolute worst thing that can happen. And you know what? I've done it twice. I've done it twice.
Mind you, it was the first time was winter, and the thing was frozen. The
portable tank.
There you go. And then the second time, we had gotten a new tank, and it was not functioning properly. There's a breather hole, and it didn't work, and so it basically shot out at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they acted like you could use it like a level gauge, and they would tell you when it was full, but you couldn't, because it just blocked any air from coming out. So if you're trying to put stuff in it and no air is coming out, nothing's going into it. So that's what happened, and just a horrible mess.
No comments.
No comments.
No
Come on.
comments.
Somebody could comment something.
No new comments.
All right.
So I guess next we kind of put together a list, and just to keep things rolling here. But we have travel and homesteading.
Yeah, being as this is the first live stream we've ever done, we're a little nervous, and we don't want to get caught just staring like a deer in the headlights, so that's why we made a list, and that's why instead of paying attention to the comments the whole time, we have stuff to talk about. So
Which is good.
Yeah, our future plans to travel or to homestead. So I think that like the main goal over the lifetime of living in the camper is to first decide after 5 years, once we get everything paid off and up to date, is to decide if this is what we want to continue doing. So once everything's paid off, we want to decide, is this the life for us, right?
Yeah.
And I can say right now, I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. And the other good thing, tying back into earlier, is that it's only going to take us 6 years. 6 years total to pay off the camper and the truck versus 30 years for a sticks and bricks home.
Yes. And it's, right around the same price.
Yeah.
We didn't go any cheaper getting a camper and a truck than we would have buying a home. We're actually higher. We have more money into the camper and the truck than we would have into a first time home.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll be done with the camper, and it was a total of 5 years done with the camper and a total of 7 years done with the truck. But we started the truck like a year and a half before we got the camper.
Yeah.
So
I averaged us out about 6 years.
Yeah, so we're at about 3.5 years left right now. So once that's all done, then we'll get to decide what we want to do after that. But I think that if we want to stay in the camper, then the idea is we want to find a place to homestead. So we're gonna use the camper to travel around the country to different places that we think would fit us, and see how we like the community and and hanging around there. And if it's
climate.
Yeah, the climate is a big thing.
The winters here have been less than they used to be, for sure. But they're still cold, and we still deal with frozen water, which is a problem. And possible propane. Well, propane costs is a thing, especially lately. And just making sure we have heat to stay warm in the winter is huge. So I know a lot of people, they travel because they follow the weather. We can handle some cold. It's not that we can't. It hasn't been too bad. We've done 2 winters here.
Yep.
And it's been okay. But if we could find something a little bit nicer, it's hard because in the summer then now you got to worry about an AC, because these things, the temperature
heat up.
Yeah,
like a car.
Heat up
it's
like
just
a
like
car. And then at night they'll get real cold too. So they're not insulated like a house. It's just not the same. So to find something that you can kind of find
like a moderate temperature,
yeah,
that you can fit right in between. We're thinking that somewhere like northern Missouri would be something like what we're talking about.
I know it gets hot there. We're not ignorant to that fact,
yeah, but
they also get cold.
A place where it gets like snow maybe a couple times a year, and it's not too intense. It'll stay for a day or something like that.
Or at least like if they get snow is fine, whatever. But cold.
Yeah, it's the sub-zero temperatures that are actually the big problem.
Cold is a problem.
The wind chills too.
Yeah. Yeah, the wind around here is insane.
Western New York. The wind in Western New York. That's where we're at, near Buffalo.
Yeah.
So Buffalo gets like 7 feet of snow sometimes in 2 days. That's the climate that we're living in.
Yeah. But like I said, snow doesn't matter, because snow actually adds like insulation. We have skirting for underneath the camper, but snow piled up will actually add insulation and help keep the heat in. So that's not a bad thing. The problem is when there's no snow and it's 30-mile-an-hour winds, 40-mile-an-hour winds,
And it's only 10 degrees.
And it's only 10 degrees.
Yeah, that's when you have a problem.
That's a problem.
So that's why we were thinking about moving a little farther south if we did, you know. But so homesteading and traveling seem like two contradictory ideas, but we kind of want to travel to find a homestead. And then also, if along the way we just really love traveling, and it turns into a way that we can be successful and lucrative at that, then maybe we'll just travel for a while.
You know, the nomadic life is not necessarily for everybody. I would love to travel, but I like having a home base. I think a lot of people do. So we're trying to figure out how we can kind of do both. Be able to travel, be able to see our country, because I mean, there are some amazing things in this country.
And it's huge.
And it's huge.
You can spend a lifetime trying to see all the things in just our country.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it is pretty incredible. Mm-hmm. But I also kind of want to like grow a garden and
have some chickens. And maybe a cow.
Yeah. Basically, you know, your own little self-sustaining kind of homestead. Yeah,
we watch Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
So we're big homestead fans too. As much as we are into the RV life, we're just as much into the homestead life. Yes. We don't do as much homesteading.
No, because it is difficult. I purchased, we have like these trough planter things on wheels. So our camper is a toy hauler. So I'm trying to figure out a way that we can grow some vegetables, and some herbs and stuff, and still be able to kind of travel. So we're planning on growing, you know, because you can grow a lot of plants in pots. So I have some like tomato plants and a zucchini and cucumber, and we're gonna see if I can't. This is kind of our time to figure it out, get a good system before we take the next step.
Yep. Well, and we have a lot of followers that are bears, right? And a lot of bears have homesteads. So, and we noticed that there is people that do this RV life that focus on traveling around to farms and helping out farms, you know?
Yeah.
So if we could get into doing something like that, traveling around.
And then we can learn too. We can learn farming, because I think even farmers are always still learning. So just starting out, and especially, you know, not really having ever gardened before.
Yeah.
It would be nice to kind of travel and see how people do it. And touching on organic, we've been eating organic for 4 years. 4 years.
A long time now.
Yeah, 4 years ago, we just totally like changed our lives. We used to smoke. We quit smoking.
Oh my God, we were smokers.
So we quit smoking. We did this. We got into the RV. We started eating organically. Totally changed our diets, our lifestyle.
Yep,
it was a heck of a road.
Yeah, it was a crazy flip. It was a crazy flip that happened. One day, I was playing video games, and I needed to fix the radiator on my truck. And at the end of my video game, I could add the points that the little character on the video game had acquired to his skills and statistics and all that. And I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? If I would have just taken this 45 minutes to go and learn how to change the radiator on my truck, I would have added those skills and statistic points to myself, to the real person standing here today. And so that's when I started to change that. I ended up having enough mechanical abilities in less than, a year and a half to go and become a mechanic building fire trucks. I mean,
yeah,
that's a phenomenal flip. I couldn't do anything mechanical, and I ended up being the main mechanic building fire trucks. You know, we had to be New York State certified, pumping 3,000 gallons per minute with those trucks. So that's pretty intense to make that flip, and it's possible for people to make that flip. You just gotta get up and be like, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna get the skills. I'm gonna go out and do that, instead of we always just sit around and get complacent, you know, with the daily work schedule. You go to work, you come home, you hang out. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you hang out, you know. And I think that's the best thing we did, was kind of just change that up, and it changed everything.
Yeah, it started to kind of get to the point where it was like, okay, we're just sort of existing here.
Yeah, every day the same.
Yep. So what can we do? What do we want to do? Which was a bit of a limbo for a while, and then we, you know, because the idea for me was always to get a house and homestead. I love homesteading. I love, like, I'm always kind of, I say I'm envious of the Amish a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because they're self-sustaining. Could I live that way? Probably not. They're on a whole nother level. But it's to be able to feed yourself, I think, is awesome, and that's always been kind of my goal. But I also want to travel. So, and luckily we have all this time. We have all kinds of time. I always used to be like, oh, I don't have any time for anything. I don't have time to do that. I don't have, you know, I gotta have this by the time I'm 30, or this by the time I'm 40, you know, whatever. But it's like, no, we have a lot of time. We have a lot of time to change what we do and try something new.
A lot. Like, a lot happens in a year, a little bit happens in a day. It's so weird to explain it like that, but that's pretty much what it is. You can do a little bit in a day, but in a month you can do a lot. It's, you know, you can change a lot in that amount of time, and it can happen very quickly.
Yeah, we are completely different from who we were and what we were doing 5 years ago. I mean, we got married 5 years ago. Actually, next weekend will be our 5-year anniversary.
Woohoo!
We've been together a lot longer than that, but we totally just, like, this lifestyle is what we're doing is not working anymore. So we needed to recognize that and change it up, and
oh yeah,
and we're still changing constantly. We're like, all right, this isn't working, so okay, new path.
Yep. And we go to the Amish all the time for stuff. That's where, you know, part of our community around here is we go to the Amish and get a bunch of stuff from them.
Yeah, they do a lot around here. They have a lot around here.
And I would say that the Illuminamish, they were right about a lot. So I think we should all look towards that.
We've gotten off track here a little bit. Okay, so why the RV is the best house choice for both homesteading and traveling.
Okay, that's kind of my arena, because Sam is the one that she's constantly saying,
we want to do two different things.
Yeah.
They don't make sense. We want to homestead, but we want to travel. We can't make this work.
Okay, so my big thing is that not only is it a good place for us to scout out where we want to live, and it keeps the dogs comfortable while we travel, because this is their home now. So whenever we go to camping parks or anything like that, as long as we put the dogs inside the camper, they will eventually calm down and lay down, because this is their place. So no matter where we are in this world, they will be comfortable. So that's the plan for me. And so it helps us scout out where we want to live. But also, as we've been staying in kind of in this big field that we're in right now, we've realized that you don't always want your house facing the same direction. Sometimes you want
a different view.
Yeah, sometimes you want a different view. Sometimes you want to look totally different. Sometimes in the winter you want it to turn one way so the wind doesn't get you, but in the summer you want to turn it the complete opposite way so that the wind is always coming in to keep it cold.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we've been able to move this. Yeah, we have that option. We've been able to move this thing around, and even though we're in like a 1 acre field or something like that, it feels like we have a different view every, you know, if we want to move it every month or something like that, we have a different view. We can spin it around so that we can have the the awnings over top while we watch movies, stuff like that. We like to do outside movies on the side of the camper.
You know how people, so when we were in a house, we were the type of people, and I know I have people like this in my life. My parents are like this. His parents are like this. We are constantly rearranging things. We're rearranging our living rooms, our bedrooms, our, whatever we can rearrange. Rearrange.
Mom, if you're here, she's talking about you. Yeah. You're constantly rearranging
constantly rearranging things. It's hard in such a small space to rearrange because most of what you have or use is dual purpose, and it kind of needs to be where it's going to be.
Fixed.
Yeah. So, for us to get that change that we need, that everybody needs every once in a while, to just kind of get a different point of view, like how you get a different point of view in your living room by changing the couch, the TV, things like that. Now we literally change our view. Like, we just move the whole thing. And that kind of satisfies that need to see change, to have something a little bit different, to change our point of view.
Yeah, sometimes my sunsets are happening in my kitchen window, and my sunrises are happening in my living room, and then I can switch us around, and I now have sunsets happening in the kitchen, or sunrises happening in the kitchen and sunsets happening in the living room. So it's really awesome, to be able to have that freedom.
We do have a comment.
Ooh, who's commenting?
I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. Good job, guys, on your 100 followers.
Wow, thank you so much, man. This guy has been awesome on Odyssey since we started. He has supported us since before we had really any LBCs
yeah, this guy's awesome.
To support our stuff.
Check out his channel.
Yeah, I call him Mr. Marciotti because I butcher his name every single time too, But he's been so awesome, and the Odyssey community has been so awesome. Like,
yeah,
we're so blown away that everybody's like, oh, all the people are on YouTube. Get over on YouTube. Like, we have 35% more followers here than we have on YouTube. Like, we get more views on all of our videos than we do on YouTube. There's a couple videos on YouTube that we have that got more.
Yeah, they're kind of trending.
But not many at all.
No, Odyssey's been pretty wonderful to us. Well, he asked, how long have you been RV living? It'll be 2 years this September.
Yeah, so like a year and a half.
Yeah, we got it actually right after we got it Labor Day weekend, 2019. So we got it and immediately had to okay, are we living in this thing for the winter? Like, now? So we moved in, man. We moved in, we got right in it. We're like, all right, we got to sink or swim here. We got to figure this out.
There was a lot of yelling.
Yes.
We did not know what we were doing. So even just turning the furnace on for the first time was so nerve-wracking because we weren't good with propane and all that stuff. So now you're using a propane furnace.
A whole new way.
We were worried that anything was going to leak, catch on fire or anything,
Conserving water because we were filling our tank. So it wouldn't freeze in the winter because we couldn't leave the hose out because we're over 100 feet, I think, or about 100 feet away from our water source. So we were not going to be able to purchase heated hose for all that, which is what we were finding a lot of people recommending. And I'm like, nope, that's not going to work for us. So we were crash course figuring everything out. And
we had a month and a half before the snow.
Yeah, before it got cold, and it was a problem.
We ended up burning up 3 different extension cord ends because we didn't understand how to use the electricity safely in the camper, really. And
it really stinks being ignorant, but I think you have to. I just saw this quote lately, and it was it was something about you have to make dumb choices to learn from them so you make better ones. And it really is I'm sure a lot of people would look at some of our videos and be like, they shouldn't have done it that way. Well, you probably know because you've been through it before. So we were learning a lot of stuff. We watched a lot of videos, which was very helpful. But at that time, there really, and there still are not a lot of winter RV living videos. Like, people travel somewhere cold, you know, if they like to ski, and they'll stay there for a small amount of time. But to go a whole winter in a field...
Yeah, there's not much info about all that.
It's not done a lot, because most RV people follow the weather.
Yeah, so that first 6 months of staying in this was intense. And it was just a fight, man. And, like, you gotta realize that if you're gonna do this life, that part of your hobby is going to be maintaining your rig and keeping it going. That's gotta be part of work. It's gotta be part of what you like to do.
But our first winter went over pretty well. And
yeah, except for the cords burning up. That was really the only thing that scared us or worried us.
Yeah,
and
the cords and our pipes froze.
Once.
We have one pipe that is on the back wall, and it's not as insulated as the rest. Like, our tanks are heated, everything else is okay. But in the bathroom, there was one pipe that is not as well insulated, and it froze twice.
Yeah.
3 times? 2 times?
Twice.
2 times, and we just, like, put a turbo heater on it for, like,
it was just
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And nothing... I think a lot of these RVs nowadays, probably, they use, like, a flexing pipe.
I think it's PEX.
Yeah, so it's not going to give you a lot, but it gave us enough, at least, that we didn't have to worry about anything cracking or leaking, and we were able to thaw it out pretty quickly. So that was good. But then we didn't really get to do the travel portion of our fun because, well, you know, 2020. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, because the spring came. The spring was going to be our first chance to go out and travel, right? And spring, it was March 13th when all this craziness started going on and we couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So we actually went to a concert the last weekend that everything was opened at half capacity for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the last thing we really did out in public for a while.
And then it was the next week. Literally the next weekend, I was working like a maniac to get everybody in because we were shut down. Like, they were like, you need to be done 8 p.m. on the 21st, I think it was. March 21st, you need to be done, and you're done. And then it was like, everything shut down. Campground shut down, everything shut down. So we just kind of were like, here. We're like, all right, well, here we are.
It was actually nice, though. We got to spend a lot of time getting, and we got to know the rig. Everything. Like, we learned that we do better when we use propane in our hot water tank than if we use the electric hot water tank. The electric hot water tank is a lot warmer. It makes the water hot, but it seems to use a lot more energy. Yeah. And when we were doing that is when we burned out to the electric cords.
Yep. Pulled out the microwave. The microwave, I think, was because a lot of people are like, oh, you got to unplug this to use the microwave or whatever. So we don't really use it all that often.
We just got rid of the microwave.
So we just got rid of it. But we really, we learned, especially for me, I really learned a lot about the rig. Finding little tricks like turning the hot water heater off when you're not using it, and then just turning it on like 10 minutes before, because it's only like a 12-gallon tank, so it heats up insanely quick.
In the summer.
In the summer, yeah.
In the winter, you want to leave it on because the hot water tank actually keeps all your pipes warm that are near it. And most of the piping in your RV is going to be compact to a small area. Our shower is right opposite our kitchen sink, so like they're... Yeah, you know, they're all right there.
But in the summer, it's not really necessary because the camper heats up in the summer. So a lot of times the water is at the very least like lukewarm anyway, from just being in the tank and warming up with the camper. So we'll just turn it off, and then if we need it to do dishes, take a shower, we just turn it on like 10-15 minutes before we're going to do those things. That way we're not wasting propane, because as it cools down, it'll keep kicking on and reheating your water to keep it to temp. So
yeah, and
that saves us a lot of propane.
Yeah, if you're off hiking or you're off at work or any of those things, like what do you need?
Why
do you need that water to keep warming up over and over again? So, and these are things too that I think that would translate so much better to a house too. Like having the
Yeah.
ability to turn off your hot water tank so
It
that
would
it's not
save
just
so
burning
much.
gas all
Yep.
the time. And you guys have 40-gallon hot water tanks in the houses. So like how long does it take to heat that thing up 4 times a day while you guys are at work, you know?
I missed it. I think he gave us 100 support too.
Wow.
Just so you know.
Mr. Marciotti is crushing it. So
Tell us how to say your name so we stop butchering it, please. I hate doing that to people because I have a last name that gets butchered. Even still, I had one and then I married and we changed ours and we still have one. It gets butchered all the time, so I can relate.
Yeah, Van Shusky.
Yep.
So that's, you know, something we have in common. But yeah, the Odyssey community has been phenomenal. Like we've gotten a lot of interaction from a lot of the Odyssey people too, and it's all been great. And we're super excited to be here. And the Odyssey platform just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Soon they're gonna have an Android app so that it'll be just as easy to use as YouTube. And soon they're gonna be able. Yeah, and soon you're gonna be able to support how Mr. Marciotti just supported us with LBC. I guess you're going to be able to support using dollars too, which I don't know why we'd want to. But you will be able to do that eventually. But yeah, playlists just came out. Like they're just constantly getting better. And this is the time to grow on the platform. We're so excited to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's and we've found a lot of people on Odyssey too that are not. We can't find them on other platforms. So that's been really nice too. I've enjoyed Odyssey quite a bit. It took a while.
Yeah, and we get a lot of people from all over the world that we're following, which I think is so awesome.
Yeah,
like it's on YouTube, it like kind of filters you down to like the people who are in the United States, or at least the people that
you have to really search to find stuff that is from other places.
Yeah, and we know that we have a couple of international followers on Odyssey, and I'm like, that is so awesome.
Yeah,
you know, we have like a guy from Russia following us, and it's like, how would he have ever discovered us on YouTube? You know, it would have been very rare, you know, because I wouldn't have discovered him on YouTube.
No.
You know? So it's so awesome that everything is kind of together here, you know, and we can still see everybody from all over the world. It's so cool.
It's definitely been a great platform. So I think we answered the how long have we been RV living.
Absolutely.
We're hoping to do some more traveling this summer. We did get out twice last year, though.
Yeah, twice.
We did. We both in September because, of course, you know, campgrounds, everything opened, but it all opened at the same time. I went back to work in June. Campgrounds started opening in June. Everything opened back up in June of 2020. So we didn't really. Then I was crazy. I was crazy busy. So we didn't get an opportunity. It seemed like September things were slowing back down again, so we hopped out on Labor Day weekend. I wish we would have videoed a lot of it because, man, that view in the morning out over that reservoir was amazing.
Yeah, we've shared some of those pictures and stuff on Bertaria Times. I don't know if I've shared them on any of the other platforms, but man, from Onaville Marina, them pictures were phenomenal.
Yeah,
but we weren't
on the Kinsey Reservoir.
Yeah, we weren't even into doing the channel then, so we didn't even think about doing videos. No, we didn't start until February, I think.
Yeah.
Of this last year.
And then it took me a while to get on board.
Yeah, I had to crush for like 2 months.
Yeah, he did.
You know, for Sam to realize that I was serious about doing it. You know. It's
hard to imagine like hitting 100 followers was like, oh my god, 100 people are watching me. That's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Right? Think about a room. Think about you're sitting in on a stage and just 100 people are out there. That's actually kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome because we really want this to take off. We really want to put out good content and have people be engaged. We want you to be engaged. That's the idea. So
Yep. So again, if you have any ideas about videos that you want us to make, put a comment in either after the live stream is over or during the live stream. You can put a comment in and tell us any videos that you'd want to see, because that way we can get out some more content that would interest our followers.
Yeah. We wanna know what you guys like, and maybe stuff that, you know, even stuff that we've touched on that you're like, I don't really want to know about that. So then we know we can kind of figure out some better content for you guys. So we're not giving you stuff that you're like, I don't really want to see that.
Yep. Yeah, and even if you guys are like, hey, I'm more for the instructional videos, I don't like that when you guys go hiking and kayaking and stuff like that. Hey, go ahead, say it in there, because we want to know how you guys feel about it, you know? But
or if you want more of that, if you're like, we want to see you do more of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
if you want more kayaking and hiking and, you know, drone footage
we
and
are
views,
this summer going to try to bring you some more of that. We have some plans
for our local places.
So for local,
we have some really awesome
places.
local places around here, though, like
Letchworth.
Yeah, Letchworth is a great place. That's in one of the places we want to go. So.
Yep, we
and the Kinzu Viaduct.
New York has a tendency to get this kind of reputation for being very city, but most of our state is extremely rural. Like we have the Adirondacks, Catskills. There's a lot of rural places here, and we'd love. So I guess we're gonna start out kind of small, kind of local, and you know, but still kind of check out. We go to Pennsylvania a lot. We go to Ohio a lot. There's places there we want to check out. I'm thinking soon we're going to try to hit up a place in Ohio. It's an Amish community. A customer told me about it.
Nice.
Berlin, Ohio. If anybody's been there or knows anything about it, please drop a comment in so we can, you know what to check out. Maybe get some video options. We would really like to know that because I'm kind of obsessed and I really want to go.
And the Amish were right about a lot.
So
I think we're pretty close to done here. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the longevity of the camper.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people say, well, like, you're going to invest all that money and then how long are you going to be able to live in that, or how long is it going to last? And the crazy thing is that we sold a camper that we never used before we got this one.
Yeah.
And that one was 21, 22 years old when we sold it. And it had a wood frame that was starting to rot out, and those people were taking it and they were going to fix it up and they were going to take it to the Buffalo Bills games. So a 21, 22-year-old camper, people are still like, hey, let me fix this and utilize it. You know, we have an aluminum frame on our camper, which should help the structural integrity of it last longer than that one. But also, how many Airstreams, antique Airstreams do you see out there?
Oh, yeah.
Or people
there
with them.
There are many options with a camper. A lot of people get in, rip them apart, and totally redo them. It's become kind of a thing.
Yep, and you see, like the RV movie, those guys, the Gornickies, they drive that awesome antique bus.
Yeah, with the best horn ever.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And that thing's like, what, 30, 40 years old? So I'm like, it's just like everything else. If you live in it and you take the same pride as you take in it as your home, you can get it to last your lifetime, at least, in my opinion. I mean, 40 years in a home, you finished your 30-year mortgage, you've made it all the way through, and, we got it. If we get 40 years, we're going to be 70-something, you know?
Yeah, so as long as you maintain, and a big part of having an RV is always trying to improve it. Just improve it. Put in little things that make it increase in value, like our soft close drawers. When we got this, it didn't have that, and that was one of the things that I was kind of grumpy about, because we had gone into all these nice new campers and they all had these like soft close drawers and no slam drawers basically. And I loved it. And another thing, too, was the garbage can. A lot of the newer RVs have the garbage can in the cupboard. And this did not. It didn't. It didn't have a place for your garbage can. You would have had to keep it out in the open. And we have dogs and small space. And I just didn't want to have that. So, and then the drawers, because he does the cabinets, he's learning another skill. He's learning another skill. He changed out the drawers, so now they're soft close, which is awesome. And then we had bought in off of Amazon, I think, our garbage can. And it's like a garbage can and a recycling can. And it is small, but everything's smaller in a RV. And we kind of made it go into the cabinet. And now we have our hideaway garbage can, and it's a capital improvement in a way.
With the original door, on the cabinet, now you just pull the garbage right out, go back in, so everything still looks finished and new. You want to keep that value up. Yeah. We're thinking about adding a set of steps for the dogs so that I don't have to have these temporary steps that we have anymore.
Yeah, they have these really, that's another thing about the newer RVs. A lot of them have the
more ride steps.
And we want to upgrade to those, so that's an upgrade that we're going to be doing. We are having a problem with our toy hauler ramp deck. It's water has gotten into it. And we are probably going to do a video about that, I think, because I've tried looking up different videos about it. But we're going to have to figure out a way to redo that. I guess there's a lot of problems with those decks. I don't know if anybody else that full-time has a toy hauler, if you have any problems with it, have figured out a way to fix it, let us know. But it's like sagging in the middle.
Yeah, and we think the structure is fine. But we're going to have to probably take it apart and replace the wood and then put it all back together and then caulk it all closed so that the water can't get back in there and ruin the wood. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why there's wood in there at all. It seems kind of stupid for something that's supposed to hold 3,000 pounds.
Yeah,
and it's only this thick. So it must have a metal frame or else it doesn't even make sense. I don't know any wood in the world that's that strong.
From some videos I've seen, because I found like one where it looks like you could see they tore it apart. It looks like it's basically a piece of press board sandwiched between like foam insulation, like the big long cuts of foam, and it goes in between all of the metal. But we won't know until we get in there to find out what's going on.
Yep. So yeah, I think the longevity of the camper is just something that's going to go with how well you take care of it and how serious you take it. Is it your life, or is it something that you're just, some people too, like with houses, some people just ride them until they're broken, man. And that's how some people treat their vehicles too, but some people take care of their houses and go out and weed whack around the steps and all that stuff. You know what I mean? If that's how you take care of it, then it'll last you.
Henry texted me and said that he's watching too.
Oh, Henry's watching.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's awesome.
Gucci.
Nice to see you here, Hank.
Yeah, he texted me that a long time ago. I missed it. Sorry, if you're still watching, I'm sorry I missed it. Thank you for watching.
That's all right. That's awesome, though. And so we don't get to say this stuff very often because it's kind of awkward to put in videos. But if anybody that's watching us now doesn't have an Odyssey account, sign up for Odyssey and get an Odyssey account, and then go to the rewards section and get verified to collect rewards. Now, the awesome thing about this is that when you're watching on Odyssey, you can earn money for watching our videos, and we can earn money for you watching our videos at the same time. And we don't have to wait until we get to a certain magical number of followers and have all these specific views and all this stuff.
It costs you nothing.
Yeah, it costs nothing
to do that, and you are earning, you're earning something. So
yeah,
and you're helping us earn something.
Yeah, so it's a great way to support us. Yeah, so it's a great way to support the channel is just following us on Odyssey, and then that way anytime you guys view our channel, we get a little bit of support, and you guys get support for watching our videos and others. There's a bunch of stuff on Odyssey. They're mirroring so many YouTube channels right now. Like, even if you have like do-it-yourself videos you're looking up, any of that stuff, look for them on Odyssey first, because you can earn some credits while you watch it. The creator can earn some money while you're watching their stuff, and you still learn the skill you were looking for on YouTube to begin with. So, we love it over here, and I think it's great that no matter how big your following is, you're treated like everyone else. It's like you get to earn right off the bat just like everybody else does, and I think it's so awesome,
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a different idea, and it's working out awesome.
And
it's an awesome idea.
There's no commercials on Odyssey.
Mm.
The way that the content creators earn is through you viewing, and the way that you earn is just through watching. So nobody needs to have an ad on any of the videos. So when you get on YouTube and we start earning on YouTube, there's going to be commercials, and you're going to have to sit and wait through the commercials to watch our videos.
Yeah.
But if you come over here to Odyssey, we're going to earn, and you're going to earn, and there's no commercials for anyone.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a crush fest over here at Odyssey. All right.
All right. Well, we are coming up on an hour, which
Woo!
is way longer.
Way longer than we want to do. So we're going to shut this down.
Yeah.
But
thank you
thank
guys
you so much for anybody that watched.
Yeah. And please, if you watch this after the live stream, comment. Tell us some stuff you'd like to see. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know about everything. We really, I love engagement. I wanna hear from you guys. So it gives me somebody to talk to. So I can be like, oh yeah, I talked to this person, and this is who I'm addressing in the video. And I love that. It was nice to have a question. Thank you so much for the question.
Yeah.
It was.
And give us that fire. If you're on Odyssey, give us that fire. If you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, give us a thumbs up. Yeah. And this is phenomenal. Like we're excited. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys.
We're all amped up. I'm Sam.
I'm Dan.
This is Eva.
And this is Dunny.
And we hope you like our video, and we'd really like for you to hit the like button and subscribe.
And watch this video here. We're here. Wherever I put it.